Welcome back to HCS London. We're now in the elimination bracket. The room is green for a reason. Quadrant have found themselves early in this elimination bracket. And this is a massive series for the fans in this crowd. You're gonna have to be loud. My name's Clutch. I'm joined by Dave Walsh himself, dressed very nice for the occasion, Dave. I like the jacket. I know Miranda picked that out.
She did indeed, but you are looking at the series layout there for just a moment. But the one thing you need to notice from there is that the first map is going to be Strongholds. And you know who's good at Strongholds? Quadrant.
Yeah, traditionally a dominant Strongholds team. They have been very strong throughout this tournament on it as well. And they are going up against Native Gaming, a team that, honestly, on this exact same map mode combination got pretty destroyed earlier today by FaZe, so I'm interested to see if they've been able to talk about improving their strategies here. But Dave, as we load into map one, what are some key factors that you're paying attention to see if Quadrant are ready for the occasion?
I mean, it's just going to come down to slays, in my opinion. Sometimes when you go against a roster that the likes of APG, Barcode, Mikwen, Gilkey, if you can't keep up in the slaying department with them, you're just going to fall behind. Doesn't matter how good you're on your rotations or your flag runs, if you don't have the slaying power, you can't match up against these top squads.
Yeah, teamwork's great, but you need some individual skill paired with it. Quadrant has been through the ringer in pool play, and now they find themselves on the brink of elimination. Gilkey has found himself an overshield bottom nest here, as that stronghold is currently in Native's favor. They got a member of Quadrant in it. Gilkey able to use that overshield to flush him out, reset B, and with that, they do have an early lead, but however, Quadrant has spawned over towards bunker and have already taken A.
And Gilkey's kind of making a play by himself over here at C. We'll have to see how this plays out, because all of a sudden, Native Gaming, they have lower numbers over towards A, and then Sica comes in for a one-on-one reset. This is one of the things that is so difficult against Quadrant in Strongholds, as they seem to always put the right amount of players in the right locations at the right times.
It's a trip cap opportunity here momentarily for Quadrant. A is being taken by Native Gaming as they spawn bunker, but Snipedrone with the first pick is going to look to pressure A as fast as possible. No longer a trip cap, but a lead for Quadrant nonetheless, and pressure onto the last stronghold of the map as Snipedrone gets a killing spree.
Yeah, Snipedrone, we were looking at him and his stats earlier. He is leading Quadrant in kills per minute in all 5 game modes. In short, if you're going to try to beat Quadrant, you have to shut down this player.
Not doing a good job so far as Native Gaming. They're down 57-10, and Snipedrone on a terror so far, 6-2-2 to his name. SLG has his eyes trying to set on B, trying to take down Barcode in a one-on-one fight, forced to back down. Barcode able to win that massive fight that will reward Native Gaming with map control for now.
And those are those crucial one-on-ones. As soon as that could have gone the other way, SLG would have instantly started capping that nest. But look at OS in the hands of Snipedrone. Takes out Barcode, and they're going for all 3.
Snipedrone starting off on fire. 9-2-2, a triple kill, and he's putting B back in his team's favor. It's a trip cap as multiple members of Native Gaming get put on respawn.
Not only that, he now has 10 kills, which is as many kills as Native Gaming has combined. Some points when you have a player on the opposing team going off, someone who's got a hot hand, someone who's that superstar, it's okay to focus that down. You generally are doing it at the very, very highest level of play. You can't just focus on someone like Stellar to win a match or a Snakebite to win a match. But when somebody is destroying this hard, call that person out. Get them in the respawn screen as much as possible.
100%. Snipedrone finally gets shut down. 11-2-3 is the stat line as B and C both trying to get taken by Native, but here comes Sica. It's a killing spree for another Quadrant member as Sica with the heat wave finds himself a kill and resets A.
Sica is just this protector over at the C Stronghold. 2 separate occasions. Native Gaming have been so close to gain that capture, and then Sica just comes in, got that trade with Gilkey early on in the first couple minutes, and right there at the end, getting that killing spree and getting that last kill.
Big transfer of B stronghold for Snipedrone as he's got his eyes set on bunker. They want this A stronghold. They want to push the pressure on interference. You can do so with numbers in hand. It is going to be a 2-on-2 situation, but look at how Native Gaming are on the ropes. They're forced to just hold and try and push for C. It's a flip in the map for Quadrant.
Yeah, and every single time it feels like Quadrant are just a step ahead. They know whether they should challenge and defend the stronghold that they have, or just rotate and take free stronghold.
Another couple of kills, 3 go down for Native Gaming as Quadrant still with map control and actually taking over C as Overshield's coming up. The game is 146 with a trip cap in Quadrant's favor, and if they can get this Overshield, this game can end quick.
And Snipedrone and the OS in hand. Once again, this trip cap is extending. C is where the play is at, and Snipedrone gonna go get some kills over in the hall.
16, 4, and 3. Thrust in his back pocket. A little Overshield to work with. 2 plasma grenades. Let's see what Snipedrone can give us. The player in the stronghold knocked in no shield with those plasmas. The thrust back to be a kill. And Snipedrone has no business doing what he just did.
And keeping that 2 caps in favor of Quadrant there. In fact, they're going to try to go for another trip cap. And unfortunately, Native Gaming spawning in one of the worst spots. Spawned over at Carbine, and that's not the spot you want to be when your team isn't spread across the map.
Snipedrone challenging everything with the way he's playing. 18, 6, and 4. And Native Gaming on the ropes still. 202 and climbing his Quadrant score towards that 250 mark.
And SLG once again on over towards this C stronghold. Let's see what he's going to decide to do. Waiting to see where Native goes to make their play. Seeing that things are maybe too good to be true over in the inner side of the map. Decides to go towards Catwalk. Gets in a one-on-one against Barcode. Barcode comes out ahead.
A big nade, all 4 dead for the first time. What feels like this game for Quadrant right now. Let's see how Native Gaming can play this situation. A potential trip cap, a momentary trip cap is so important for Native. How long can they hold this?
Yeah, they have the spawns. They spotted the first spawns over at Carbine. Are they able to get the kills and stay alive? Yes, they are. That's 3 down for a moment for Quadrant. But Sica staying alive over in the connector. Getting that first pick, getting early damage on APG, and not stopping.
I love this play by Sica. He's going to take map control and not focus on the strongholds. Right now, you are up so significantly that you can play Slayer for a moment to gain that significant amount of map control. You only need 30 points to your name. Sica able to extend a lot of the pressure off of the rest of Quadrant. Right now, it's going to be a swap. A and C going in the hands of Quadrant. Native Gaming are going to have to come off respawn and answer quickly.
And it's a good point on Sica there, like you said. Just decide to go for the Slays. One of his teammates can grab that stronghold when the opportunity presents itself. But you don't want to just instantly reveal your location when you're weak over that stronghold and give them free kill. They have time on their side. They do not need to force a recap instantly. Whereas Native Gaming, they need to jump on that hill right away as soon as it goes out of their favor.
The win conditions are so heavily stacked against Native Gaming. The Slays are so heavily stacked. And as A and B go back into Snipedrone's hands, it's a 23 Michael Jordan performance from Snipedrone here in game 1.
And look at that, just turning, getting the finish on Mikwen. Barcode desperately trying to get C. Gonna be traded out there. Their last stronghold they're trying to hold on to is also gone out of their hands. I do not see how Native Gaming have a way out of this.
Native are in A and B right now, but 1 round of Slays is all Quadrant need to take the lead in this series. Right now, the game on a nice edge. No room for error for Native Gaming. Let's see how these plays go as Glory trying to push in front of A, gets taken down immediately. Trades across the board right now. Mikwen taken down. 2 down for Native Gaming. Gilkey and Barcode have the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Barcode somehow stays alive, gets the trade and the reset. Just gonna buy enough time for APG and crew to try to stop this cap. Not gonna happen. They're gonna have to rotate on over towards C. C is gonna be where this game is decided. Native Gaming jumping in the stronghold. APG trying to make a flank play. Sniffed out.
Snipedrone trying to find APG, finally gets the kill onto him. It's a 360, but not kind of the ones you like to have. But in the meantime, the rest of Quadrant clear out Native Gaming, and they will win game 1.
Huge, huge performance there, especially by Snipedrone and the rest of that Quadrant roster just looking so strong. We had questions were they able to hang in the slaying department? Question answered. Anytime it came down to one-on-one flanks, you saw so many times that Native Gaming would send over 1 member to go over towards the C stronghold and see if they could sneak over there and maybe get that cap. Every single one-on-one we saw going in the favor of Quadrant, whether that's a trade against Gilkey, whether it's that one-on-one Snipedrone versus Mikwen. Every single play just seemed to go in the favor of Quadrant.
You can see the confidence they were playing with once they got that significantly. Once Snipedrone realizes how on fire he actually is, he was willing to take every single pivotal fight.
And I'm just looking at that scoreboard at the bottom. You just notice that 23 points for so long for Native. It started off at around the 100 mark. Goes all the way here to the near 200 plus mark of Quadrant domination there throughout the whole center of that game.
That fight was just as bad as I remember it. As Snipedrone picks up the kill, 24 to his name. An unbelievable individual performance, I'd say, from Snipedrone. Actually gets 26, maybe 27 there at the end. Jesus, that's one of probably the kill records we've seen in the Stronghold, at least with that much time. But as this series is starting to unfold, backs against the wall for both these teams. Elimination bracket, no room for error. We've seen what happens in game one. One player stepped up and started making plays. There is so much talent on that stage, Dave. Are you expecting individual performances to continue to dictate how this series is going to go? Or which team do you think is going to have to play more cohesive in order to have success here?
I mean, to a degree, you're going to definitely see individual performances dictate how this is going to play out. But you got to give it to Quadrant here at the beginning. It's Stronghold. It's their best mode. You saw a
they had a
play
out
of Snipedrone. But as you get these Slayers, you've looked at how Quadrant have performed in Slayers so far this event. You know, I believe they are 1 and 3 in Slayers, or at least 1 and 3 out of the close Slayer games that are within 5 kills. So they're not seeming to close it out against all these top competition. And
the one game type Native Gaming were able to take down FaZe in earlier today in the winners bracket was that Live Fire Slayer game where they almost staked FaZe. So you know, as big of a smile as Quadrant had seeing Strongholds was game one, Native Gaming are going, all right, let's get this Slayer out of the way, put it back to a 1-1, and we'll see what happens with the rest of the map modes along the way.
Yeah, now I do think that if Quadrant are able to take this Slayer number 2, I think it's going to be disastrous here for Native Gaming.
Yeah.
But I do heavily favor Native Gaming here in game number 2. They get a chance to play at their own pace. They don't have that objective ticking against them. They don't have to charge across the map into a flank faster than they normally would. They get to take their time, slay out at their pace, and I feel like they're going to be fine.
You hear that, crowd? This is a must-win for Native Gaming, according to Dave Walsh, which means if Quadrant can get off to a hot start, if Quadrant can get to a lead and play from a place of strength and position, what that means is they could find themselves advancing here very quickly through the elimination bracket. A 1-0 lead for Quadrant, and this camouflage at the start of the game is going to dictate everything.
And SLG getting 2 picks on Barcode and APG. Camo going to be snagged. Mikwen goes down. You can't ask for a much better start than that.
I don't know
Quadrant coming out hot.
I don't know how SLG got that kill so quickly under Barcode. Must have shot the plasmas over in blue or something.
I did see a plasma grenade kill, I believe, onto APG, so there could have been something there where APG got naded or stuck and then gets to finish a Barcode or something like that, but I don't know. Either way, SLG created that massive opening for this camo play to take place.
Yeah, 5-2 now. Quadrant getting to play from the lead, a very important quality for them to try and get better at their Slayers, improve their Slayer record right now. A lot of damage done with just 2 frag grenades. Let's see if SLG can clean up on some of this damage. Unfortunately, the shock rifle doesn't come through. He is going to be able to stay alive and play his life. Finds the player weak over towards elevator. I love the relocation there from SLG.
Yeah, such a great play to divide and conquer. If you know where a player's at over in pipes or a couple players there, just reposition. Go join your other teammate at that fight. They are going to be scrambling, trying to fight over at pipes or batteries as you get a new person advantage across the map.
Right now, 8-4 shock still in the hands of SLG. Mikwen, the only player in Native Gaming to get a kill. Gilkey finds one, but SLG answers right back with a nice headshot of the shock. Starting to waste ammo, but also wasting it on the APG. A nice body shot allows Glory to pick up a quick kill. Damage onto the players here. Blue stairs. That player's going to be able to stay alive momentarily as Snipedrone continuing to the success from game 1 is 5-1-1.
And look at that swooping in there by Snipedrone, using that shroud to cover his teammate over at the trippy box, trying to keep his teammates alive and keep this 6-kill scoreline in their favor.
We're starting to see that more and more. SSG was doing such a good job on streets of using the shroud to help their teammates rather than make a play themselves. I love seeing Quadrant adapt and evolve with their gameplay here. 17-8 Quadrant. Snowballs continuing to roll downhill. Snipedrone 6-2-1, but it seems like everybody on Quadrant starting to pick up the pace as well.
Yeah, now we're seeing the game actually kind of slow down for the very first period. The rest of this time, anytime there was someone weak, anytime there was an opening across the map, you saw these players charging and keeping the action going. But now that it's fully slowed down, everyone was at full strength for a moment until Mikwen got picked off there. You saw, like I said, the pace really slowed down. But now that Mikwen was down, there goes Barcode. Charge continues down in the elevator. and kills trade back and forth. As these kills get traded out, players going to be more active across their map. They are going to notice that they have more opportunities that they can charge across without getting punished, and they're going to try to push their man advantage across the map. Anytime they have a 4-on-3, they want to continue to push and stagger kills as best they can.
Well, it looked like a very difficult situation for Native Gaming to come out with a positive thread there, as they were all stuck in elevator. Actually results in them coming out dead even. A great job by them to somehow find a way to trade, but unfortunately Snipedrone still on a tear, and Mikwen was his latest victim.
And Mikwen also thought he had a frag grenade there. Knew that he was just trying to throw a frag grenade, banked up towards elevator, and that's just you know, a wrench in his plans, as he was not expecting that to be that type of grenade.
I call that a classic Tony. He has no idea what grenade he's ever throwing. Mikwen finding himself in the why not be reckless category. That's not where you want to be. So 26-18, Quadrant are pushing across the halfway mark now and have a significant lead still.
Yeah, they're doing such a great job. They now have this 10-kill lead. I actually want to go to Quadrant, listen to hear how they're calming through the second half of this match.
I'm looking. Il a mis last one. Weak. I'm He's weak, stack. He jump stack with sisters. Stack with sisters et PG.
He's stack one shot. Mangler as well.
Yeah, weak.
Mangler top in.
One shot bottom mid, one shot top A. One shot, two one shot shady. One shot shady. One shot shady still.
They're not going for it yet, bro.
I have this guy. He's going on it now. He has this, he's curb sliding stack side. On you, Mike. Dead. Camo is on us.
Yo, turbine, free kill. Two turbine. One's on me pipes, one's on. Nice! She's on!
Okay.
I'm running. I'm gonna bottom tower kill me. Camo's ballage right now. He's on shot, going top red for Camo right now.
Okay.
Camo's out.
You're done.
Camo's out in 5.
Try to get out.
Tape I'm still tape. No, bien mid long. Camo play for me. He's like C plat, I think.
See that weak. I'm Stu tower.
One shot
Stu tower, one was one shot.
He's nice stack.
Nice.
Feeding stack.
Watch out, T-plat to see bot.
Yeah, and bottom A. Can we keep bottom A?
He's running out. He's tower weak.
Yeah,
One shot on tower, absolute.
I'm pushing this.
One shot long.
One shot tower, one more tower.
Nice.
Yo, triangle weak.
Oh my god!
Yo, Pike's weak, last guy. Yo, I'm going out long. Trap him.
Only one. Two up.
Quadrant pushed the lead to 11. SLG getting so much damage there over towards White and staying alive. Incredible decision making by all of Quadrant so far, and that's the reason they're up 12.
And what I thought was going to be a slower paced game where Native can go at their own pace, be a bit more comfortable, has not been a luxury they've been able to afford. You've just noticed every single time Quadrant are just charging, you've just noticed there's many situations. Mikwen's like, all right, I'm going to run back towards my help, and people come barreling through pipes. People come barreling through across the map. They are not holding back whatsoever.
The pressure is too much. The pipes are starting to burst. Native Gaming starting to go down. 43-33. A 10-kill lead for Quadrant. Snipedrone doing Snipedrone things apparently as he gets his 15th kill of the game right now, continuing the pace from game 1.
Yeah, most kills in game number 1. On pace for most kills in game number 2. We're going to have to see how they close this out, but this one's just going to be too tough. Native Gaming needs some sort of miraculous play. They need to get 2 or 3 down, then charge and stagger kills. But one thing that's semi-nice on recharge is as your team gets fully wiped at some points, if you spawn an elevator, you get to slow it down a bit. It's really tough to collapse over and over again cross map on this map.
Right now, Quadrant having such confidence, rolling, picking up the pace, disrespecting Native Gaming for a reason. 49-39, 1 kill away from going up 2-0 against a very strong roster in Native Gaming. Pressure onto this player, top glass, and the teamwork will get the job done. Quadrant will take a 2-0 series lead here in the elimination bracket round 1.
And that one's tough. I mean, I viewed this as a very close series either way, but I really predicted that Quadrant would take game number 1, and I assumed that Native were going to be favored in the Slayers. Look at this now. It's hard not to see Quadrant rolling this momentum through the rest of the series, potentially one more game.
Yeah, I really feel like this was always going to be a battle of momentum. Once these players start gaining confidence on either side of the stage, you know how far they can roll with it. You can see how game 1 has impacted Snipedrone's decision making and how aggressive he wants to be here in game 2, leading the lobby once again in kills.
And just every single time you can see when Native Gaming would pick up the pace, when they charge around to finish off a one-shot, they'd get punished for it. There'd be players like Snipedrone who's banking that grenade over in pipes, or that last one round the corner of bottom tower, and I believe it was Sica, who had shock rifle, just trading a one-shot teammate for a full shielded member of Native Gaming.
Now, I know you said it was a must-win game for Native Gaming to tie the series up if they want any chance to win this series. You're still in it technically, right? What can Native Gaming do here in Game 3 to try and slow down the snowball that is clearly rolling downhill and expanding ever so often?
That's a great question. I mean, CTF Aquarius, unfortunately, is probably the fastest CTF we have here. And I felt like speed of play has not been favoring Native Gaming. Generally, speed of play favors a team that has the numbers advantage and the ones that's charging around confidently, which is Quadrant at this moment. At some point, Native either has to say, we need to find a true way to play defense and slow it down and go at their pace of the game, or they need to fight fire with fire. They need to just start going across the map. Stop trying to be on the back foot, trying to wait for too much help. They need people to start treating it more like a free-for-all at some points and win their one-on-ones, not be afraid to charge out and challenge.
As we look at the graphic on screen, it's a CTF Aqua, or a CTF stat, I should say, and it looks like Quadrant have struggled with the amount of flags that are being taken away, but the defense, once it's grabbed, has not been something Quadrant have struggled to stop. So although someone is in their base pulling the flag, they're not getting cast. What does that tell you about this team, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that six, it was what, 1 cap out of 6 against Quadrant. That to me says that either you're playing a map that's really tough, like an Empyrean or something like that, where some flags don't turn to conversions,
right?
Or it just means that this team does not worry about the initial cap, or the initial grab. They aren't overly committing to that initial line of defense and saying, all right, it's okay if they get into our base. We don't have to commit and die right then and there. Seems like they give themselves some breathing room and then set up a counterattack to stop the flag run.
Right, the idea might be more focused on the snipers or whoever is actually still standing on the map trying to deal damage to you rather than the flag carrier.
Could be something like that, yeah. That would be the only takeaway without having to dive in deeper and actually watch some of their gameplay of what they're doing.
Aqua CTF's the name of the game. There's an overshield bottom pink. There's a heat wave bottom middle, thrust top middle, but no real precision weapons to help dictate this series, Dave. Which team do you kind of lean towards when you think about a team where it's a map like Onslaught, a map like Aqua, where it's mostly going to be your utility starting weapon to find success?
I mean, you looked at the last map there, and you've got to say on Interference/Rig, like, that's also a map that doesn't have too many precision weapons on it. It's all about collapsing and fighting. And the way Quadrant's playing right now, the way that they aren't hesitating, the way that they're taking every single fight immediately, and also just winning their fights, plain and simple. When it comes down to a one-on-one or even a one-on-two, Quadrant are getting the damage in.
It hadn't been many one-on-ones. We've seen one on the side of Native. That's got to turn around. With players like Mikwen and Gilkey on your team, you think that you're going to get the advantage in those one-on-one opportunities throughout a series. But Snipedrone and the rest of the boys on Quadrant are showing that not only is their teamwork on, not only is their strategy on, but it looks like their shots are also on here. And as we approach a late Saturday, which is a great thing, because if you feel like you're on fire and you can consistently play like we've seen the first 2 games from Quadrant, you can go on one hell of a run.
Yeah, they are priming themselves up for a great lower bracket run if they can continue this momentum and close this out. But you know, it's Native Gaming. You can never count out a squad like this. It is also CTF Aquarius, which is one of the faster CTFs, but at the same time, teams can slow down a bit. I don't expect this to be a 5 or 6 minute game like we were seeing in these last 2. I feel like this CTF Aquarius could last as long as those last 2 games combined. So, they have a shot. Yes, it's going to be fast-paced, but they have their opportunity. Native Gaming need to step it up immediately and get back into this series.
All eyes will be focused on that overshield that spawns pink 1 at the start of the game. An opening break is something Native are praying for to win at this point, Dave.
Yeah, I feel like it's all eyes and Snipedrone's hands that are going to be on the overshield at the beginning of this game. Let's see if that holds true. Mikwen trying to make an early play over towards bomb card. Gets a one-on-one and drops it to Snipedrone.
It's the same thing we've been seeing so far in Game 1 and Game 2. Snipedrone wins his piv on the Mikwen, creates a lot of space and opportunity for the rest of Quadrant. And Glory, still alive, still in the bait, made his way into the base of Native Gaming, and they're going to try and get a flagpole. It does fall down to the box. It does look like a couple members of Quadrant are going down as APG finally has something to say about this series.
I was going to say, you need people to step it up, and no one else on Native has a kill yet. APG has 4 slays. He's taking matters into his own hands, getting the kills on the board. I originally questioned, can Quadrant keep up in slaying department with Native? It's actually the reverse right now. Can Native step up and match the slaying power that we are seeing coming out of these Quadrant boys?
Well, unfortunately, ever since then, 3 go down for Native Gaming, and all of a sudden the slays and the flags starting to go in their favor. The flag getting into the util closet. There is a player in Mikwen bottom card that's going to try and delay this, but you're seeing Sica take the pink route. They're going to cut off reinforcements. That's APG. Perfect shots onto him. Barcode is able to get a kill himself, and 2 members from Quadrant are going down. As Sica's on the opposite side of the map of the flag run. These kills are great, but that flag is going to get returned.
Yeah, Gilkey and Barcode putting up a couple numbers, because I was going to say another team, Quadrant here, might be playing their own version of Goose Hunt here in a little bit, but now that is out of the question. Every single player has kills on the board, but Sica has a flag moving.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Sica's being ridiculous right now, running the flag, hitting the G side to bottom middle, already across halfway now. A couple members of Native still coming off respawn. That flag is going to get taken down with Quadrant lose 2 members. Snipedrone is the one you got to focus on, the one you want to take down. And Insta Dave, that's your bread and butter.
I love to see it. You know what? I love to see it. Gilkey in a spot where he was 1 shot, had 0 hope, but that Insta mechanic, whoever developed that and popularized that, props out to them. But Gilkey getting himself out of a sticky situation and stopping that flag run from getting too scary. All 4 down, though, for Quadrant for the first time in a while.
Overshoot down on the floor as well, and I hope I never meet the guy that made the instas, because good Lord, did you get me with a few of them back in the day. And I'm about tired of watching them. But that being said, an unbelievable one by Gilkey has given his team an opportunity to keep this 0-0 for now. That overshield gets squandered as it gets taken down. Barcode with a vengeance finds himself a double kill, and for the first time in what feels like forever, Native Gaming have map control.
I also saw Barcode getting loud, barking a little bit. One thing I think about Barcode is some players like to be some silent killers. I feel like when I see Barcode play, the louder he gets, the more dangerous he's getting.
Yeah, that's when
that's the first time I've seen some life out of him.
That's when you know Barcode's starting to get in rhythm and find his flow. And when he does that, he can take over games. He's taking this flag back to his utility, making it across the bridge. It doesn't look like anybody on Quadrant's focused on him. That flag will give Native their first lead in the series as the crowd starts.
As the crowd says, good job to both sides here. We are gonna absolutely let them know which side we're on the moment. So first thing going in the favor of Native Gaming, and crowd meeting them with a quick boo.
What does that do for your confidence right now for Native Gaming, Dave? You get your first lead in any of the games so far in this series right here, right now. Complete backs against the wall, must win game 3. 1-0. There's still plenty of time and a lot of Halo left to be played, but you got to feel a little bit better than you did 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, the first time, like you said in the series, you actually have the lead. You are no longer forced to make a play to try even it up or get that lead. Instead, they can say, all right, what we're doing is working. Let's just keep this up for a moment. We don't need to force a flag run. We don't need to force a push. So for the first time, it's slowing down, but they also get, like you said, you have that confidence. You really don't have the confidence until things start working.
It's a little bit easier to breathe, I'd say. As Overshield comes up, Glory is the one to put it into his chest. And right now, Glory trying to advance on the map. A couple of members of Native Gaming are going to run into him. Mikwen with some great damage right now as they get a Mikwen APG sandwich. Glory eats the sandwich and takes him down.
And those are the challenges someone like APG is not really expecting. When you think of the highest level, even like NA play, a lot of times these players are so reliant on someone else finish up their one-shots. They will jump out and challenge when they are forced to. In a case like that, Glory's like, I just know I'm going to win this, so I'm going to go out and take it.
Yeah, unbelievable play by Glory there to use that overshield to create some map control. But ever since then, it's been back and forth. No real map control, no flags being pulled as of yet. But as I say that off screen, it is going to be Quadrant pulling Barcode's flag. A big decision for him to make here.
Ooh, and this one's a tough one to know what to do. Whether you just stop and slay or do you get a counter pull across the map. It looks like damage coming down. Who is going to win this exchange over on car side? Looks like APG's going for the recovery. Glory does not get the touch just yet, but damage has been done, and flag continues across the map in the hands of SLG.
SLG, the last man standing in the ring. As he gets the flag, he tries to throw it up, but he's knocked to no shield. That flag does not make it into the window. You can't throw it to yourself, young man. That flag will be neutralized still. SLG going to choose to try and slay, but there's a player coming up his pink stairs.
He does not know this flank behind, and here comes the surprise. It's revealed. SLG does get a touch, but these players are all stuck in the courtyard. Mikwen The only one left that can somehow stop this flag and ease across the map. That's going to be a flag return. Flag captured. We got ourselves a tie game.
Barcode was the player that made it up the pink stairs. He chooses to shoot and not go for the assassination. Because of that, SLG able to stay alive, play his life, and tie this game up for Quadrant.
That's such a tough decision to do, too. Generally, if you see someone's back to turn to you and they're shooting your teammate, your first instinct is like, well, I'm going to be fast. Yeah, you got to help. You're going to be faster to shoot. But like you said, kind of came back to bite him there. The flank, it was revealed. And after that, it was punished.
Overshield just came up. Glory got another overshield for the side of Quadrant. The flag was actually thrown out front the base, but perfect shots from APG make this flag run dead in its tracks. They're going to be able to get the reset, you'd have to think, but somehow Sica, nobody gets the reset. Sica sneaks in, he gets the touch. A couple of players do go down for Quadrant, but that flag is still out.
Yeah, flag's still out. Glory's going to reposition, decide to try to get behind enemy lines. Spotted out, though. Unless that was a friendly grenade coming up from Snipedrone? I don't know, but here comes the battle over in the util. Going to go in favor of Quadrant, and they're going to try to set themselves up for a new flagpole.
Two players on the bridge trying to push across. Glory with some great shots, able to find that player down. Pink one, able to stay alive as well. Snipedrone going to be the one to get the flag. SLG and Sica both pick up kills. Gilkey, the last player alive for Native Gaming. Mikwen spotted off in the pink, and Mikwen's going back to the death cam right now. Flag on the move, and where is Gilkey is the question. Behind the flag carrier, he's able to take down Snipedrone into the utility. As he hops on the return, he's got to do more. He can't do more. SLG gets the kill, and trades will benefit Quadrant with their flag on their side of the map.
It just feels like any time these members of Quadrant are dividing and conquering, they're just winning the fights. When it comes down to like a one-on-one fight there over at Bridge, granted getting the first couple shots on a player who's spawning there, or a one-on-one over in util, Quadrant seem to be coming out ahead in those exchanges.
Last player alive for Quadrant in the utility, going to be able to get a touch potentially. Maybe the flag returns. It's actually a double kill for SLG. The flag does get returned, however, so a beautiful job by Gilkey at the start, but the rest of Native Gaming to follow up and return that flag successfully. Unfortunately, what did it cost? Complete map control and the flag being pulled again.
They clear out Mikwen, though, from car side. That flag should be cleared to move across the util side if they get the touch, but looks like they opt to go towards bottom center with it. We're going to have to see if they're taking the too fast of a route here. Sica trying to push over towards courtyard, realizes that he cannot go get the touch. He will get finished off and decides to reposition util again. This seems to also be a strategy here from the Quadrant side, is they'll sometimes get a flag out, and if they feel like they can't get it, they'll push towards util, either set for a new pole or have a flank to help the existing flag run, which is still going across the map.
Yeah, they're used to baiting the flag. That flag actually gets punched in off screen. And Quadrant now take the lead. Now the conversation of pressure on Native Gaming's backs and shoulders right now is starting to build. There's 3.5 minutes left in this game, and for the first time you find yourself down. Do you have the count? Do you have a life to play around?
Don't have a lot of time. You know, 3 minutes is plenty to be able to get a cap out there, but you start to get more and more worried as this develops. From what we've seen thus far, it doesn't seem like Quadrant's going to make anything easy. Doesn't seem like they're going to give you an easy 4 down. Gilkey having to get a stick to get that touch out. Gets the toss out towards the courtyard, and Snipedrone does not want to give that any chance to move across the map. Goes for the recov and pushes back.
Doesn't worry about the return. He hops off of it, because in the meantime, it was Sica that was pulling the flag of Native Gaming. If they were able to get the slays, that would have been a 3-1 lead very quickly. Quadrant did go 3 down, however. Gilkey back off spawn, back to top pink. He's got a lot of pressure coming up the stairs as he's able to get the stick. Beautiful job, Gilk putting these sticks to use this game, trying to get a flag on the move. 2 go down for Quadrant. Flag is on the move right now.
And maybe a first to West, we might see. We'll have to see how long they keep control of this, but flag moving across.
It's getting capped.
This cap is going to go in?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody Quadrant in a position right now. But Overshield, like you said, Dave, coming up in 10 seconds. Native Gaming are coming off respawn. They have 2 members down. One's going to be up, but Overshield being up, Quadrant should have the map control in order to secure this once again.
Quadrant getting this OS, and I feel like we've seen them grab almost every OS, every camo. I would say you're seeing 1 out of 5 at the most go in the hands of Native Gaming, and that's not an easy position to play from. 3 down for a short period of time. Are they spawning at Fridge? Doesn't matter. Seems like Glory's just going to pull it anyways and run towards pink 1. Continue to run us across courtyard. Sometimes when that objective is moving so fast across the map, doesn't even matter if you run at the same side the opposing team is spawning.
Barcode trying to delay this flag from moving any further, but the damage has been done. The teammates are nowhere to be found, and Quadrant are running this flag up the pink stairs as all of Native Gaming are coming off respawn.
And this flag so close to going in. They make sure to secure it, but they have to be careful here. 3 members went down. This is counter cap territory. Can Native Gaming get the kills? Yes, they get the first kill in Glory. A grenade fiesta taking place over in the base there. I'm not sure how many people that damage it took down, but 3 down again for Quadrant. Native Gaming might get the perfect answer here by running this flag across the map.
But they ran it util, and Quadrant spawned in their own util closet right now. Quadrant have stopped the flag run. 2 go down. Mikwen in no man's land. Pink side the base, forced to try and sprint over. That flag is being returned. The Quadrant utility spawns will stop Native Gaming's cap. 40 seconds on the clock. Native Gaming have 40 seconds in their tournament lives to turn this around.
I thought Native Gaming had it perfect. The kills was the bigger question for me. It wasn't about where they're blocking the spawns or on the flag. I usually feel like they have that part down. 26 seconds left here for Native Gaming. Can they get the touch? Can they keep this live? APG gets the touch on it. He runs it towards util. Does he opt for courtyard or util? He goes towards util. Correct decision here.
This time around, APG is going to get the flag into his own utility, but here comes Quadrant, the thrust from SLG, and the melee is going to make him an easy kill. 2 players hopping on this return. This flag goes home. Native Gaming will go home, and Quadrant will move on in the elimination bracket.
The crowd goes absolutely wild for these hometown heroes at Quadrant Major here in London. What a statement against a squad like Native Gaming to do that in a 3-0 fashion. Game 3 is where they actually start to show some life. Other than that, let's be real, Quadrant were dominating.
Let's talk about it, Dave. As Quadrant dominates this series against a Native Gaming squad with the likes of APG, Gilkey, and Mikwen, champions across Halo. So much history. The talent that they just beat, the way they just beat them. Quadrant's elimination bracket run, what are you looking forward to seeing for them? How far do you think this train can go?
I mean, I gotta double check who they're gonna be playing after this, because that's the bigger question is, how did these brackets falter? How, you know, what's their next matchup?
It's the winner of SWAT Esports and Proton Gaming.
I mean, I had Proton as my wild card, but if I'm seeing how Quadrant's playing here right now, that match is a toss-up if I've ever seen one.
I know both those teams in that match is probably going on in the other room, so they didn't get a chance to see this series, but when they hear whispers of Quadrant 3-0ing Native Gaming, what do you think's going through their head?
I mean, they're gonna, first off, they'd walk into it confident, but they will know it's the real deal. They've seen how well Quadrant's been playing so far this year, hearing how it's not just Snipedrone. Yes, Snipedrone has been leading the charts in kills. Was he top kills every single game there? Yes, he was.
Yeah,
top kills in all 3 games. Sica.
At least games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then
Game
really
3 had 26 kills, but Snipedrone just absolutely dominating there. I feel like if you go into that series and you're going against Quadrant, on one hand you want to say, what do we do to shut down Snipedrone? On the other hand is, well, even if you do, his teammates are just going to clean you up and then run the objective.
The question I would ask is, what can you do to shut down Snipedrone? Because nobody was able to take down Snipedrone. It felt like every time we were on his screen, he was winning a pivotal fight. He was hitting perfect shots. Snipedrone, the player of the series by far, giving Quadrant everything they needed.
Yeah, putting up those numbers, but like I said, it's a team. It's a unit there. They play so well together. Snipedrone is playing his piece. Another player who's been doing his piece is Sica. Blaze, you're down right now. Take it away.